Okay, hello guys, we are back again. I hope you are all doing well. Here is Questionable Studios, and there are a few matches that took place in the La Liga and also the Premier League. We will look at how these results went and also look at some various stories and transfer news and also some news from the players themselves which they've spoken and also see how things will go. So let's move on into the Premier League, English Premier League. There was one match which took place today in the English Premier League, and that was between Manchester City and Aston Villa. At the end of the match, Manchester City won by 2-1 through the goals of Bernardo Silva and Matheus Nunes for Manchester City, and also Marcus Rashford got one consolation goal for Aston Villa. That was a very interesting match because the match nearly ended as a draw, but there was a late drama by a goal scored by Matheus Nunes. This gave Manchester City some hopes for the Champions League because looking at the current Premier League table, there are 4 to 5 teams competing for Champions League spots. So this was a needed win for Man City in order to stay on course and also book the spot for the Champions League. So that was very interesting. That was very exciting there. So after the match, there was an interview, a post-match interview where we asked about Pep Guardiola's reaction after the goal scored by Matheus Nunes. He was very excited from the looks of things. He was very excited and cheering and celebrating because Pep Guardiola's team has been struggling this season. So, looking at the Champions League spot too, a lot of teams are competing to get the spot and also book place in the Champions League next season. Looking at teams like Nottingham Forest, Newcastle, Chelsea, Aston Villa. These are some teams competing for the Champions League spots. So Manchester City needed the win in order to book place, in order to stay course and also book spots in the Champions League for next season. Let's move on to La Liga and see Barcelona's match against Mallorca, how the match went. At the end of the 90 minutes, Barca won by 1-0 through the goal scored by Dani Olmo. This was a needed win for FC Barcelona because they are competing for the La Liga title and Real Madrid is chasing them. So they needed this win in order to stay course and also compete for the La Liga this season. That was a very interesting win for Barcelona and their fans out there. They are still leading the La Liga table with 76 points as of now. They played 33 matches and they are leading with 76 points. Madrid has played 32 matches and will be playing their game against Getafe, God willing, tomorrow. They sit second with 69 points. So they are behind Barcelona with a difference of 7 points. God willing, tomorrow we will see how that match also goes. If Real Madrid will still be able to chase Barcelona or they are going to lose or draw, we will see how that match goes there. But between Barca and Mallorca, the coach did some changes in the first team squad because we saw the likes of Ansu Fati and also Hector Font in the squad. Rafinha was also dropped. A few players were dropped. Frankie de Jong didn't start. And I think the match against Celta Vigo and Barca, like Ansu Fati and also Hector Font was warming up, but they couldn't get the opportunity to play the game. So I think the players were disappointed. And after the match, the coach was interviewed about the reaction of these players. He said he saw them disappointed, but at this time of the season, it means business. So he will look at the strengths of the players and also the performance in training session to make his selections. So the players' disappointment, he really understands, but his decisions are based on what matters the most, who can give them the results and also the players who are likely to give him the results he needed. So we are all very interested in Ansu Fati getting a play time because the last time Ansu Fati started a match, it was in October 2024. So this was a very interesting news to hear from the camp of Barcelona, to see Ansu Fati, who was once a player which the world knew he would be one of the great players, but through injuries he has been on the bench for so many times, missing a lot of matches. So we are very glad to see Ansu Fati start a game for Barcelona there. We will see how things will go in the future matches of FC Barcelona. Let's move on to some various stories circulating, starting from Real Madrid. Real Madrid has a Copa del Rey final to play, God willing, Saturday against FC Barcelona, and God willing, tomorrow too, they have a match against Getafe. From Ancelotti, Kylian Mbappe and Ferland Mendy will be missing the match against Getafe, God willing, tomorrow, but they will be ready for the match against FC Barcelona in the Copa del Rey final. Also, concerning the Copa del Rey too, Courtois will be starting in the goal post for Real Madrid, though Andriy Lunin has been playing most of the Copa del Rey matches. But Courtois, from the decision of Ancelotti, Courtois will be in the goal post since right now they need the Copa del Rey, and their best keeper, Courtois, will be the one to be in the goal post for them too. And I'm sure he'll be going for their 4-4-2 formation he has been recently playing. So this will see the likes of Rodrigo be on the bench, because this time around he's really serious and wants results. So I think he'll still go with the 4-4-2. And with this formation, we all know that Rodrigo is always out when he plays the 4-4-2 formation. Also, Vinicius Jr. has spoken. He said that those always criticizing him, that he's been rude on the park, he's been always fighting, indiscipline, all kinds of attitudes. He said we should tell you that he was bought to score goals and not to be nice on the pitch. So he don't care about your criticism that you've been criticizing him. His role, or the reason why Real Madrid bought Vinicius Jr. is to score goals for Real Madrid and not to please anyone on the park. Also, from the camp of Bayer Leverkusen, they said now they are ready to sit down and negotiate with any team who will be ready to strike a deal for their coach, Xabi Alonso. So this is a very interesting news to Real Madrid, because now Real Madrid is targeting Xabi Alonso as their next coach for Real Madrid next season. So Bayer Leverkusen is ready to open and negotiate with any team who will come forward and strike a deal to sign their coach, Xabi Alonso. Also, from Carlo Ancelotti, he says that they need to win the Copa del Rey and La Liga, and there is only one thing he needs from his players, is that they should make sure that their upcoming fixtures against FC Barcelona in the Copa del Rey final and also the La Liga, there is one thing he needs from them, is that they are supposed to beat FC Barcelona without any doubt. They are supposed to beat FC Barcelona. That is what he's expecting from his players. Let's move on to Barca, and also Lewandowski was injured last week against Celta Vigo. He got a hamstring injury and will be out for some weeks. We did not know the days he will be returning back, but from the camp of FC Barcelona, he will be out for some weeks, making him miss the Copa del Rey final and the semi-final clash against Inter Milan. So now, Hansi Flick will rely on the options of Ferran Torres and Pau Victor to boost the attacking options of FC Barcelona. Let's move on to Manchester United. From the camp of Manchester United today held a meeting with Matheus Cunha. They want to add Matheus Cunha to their attacking options. And after the meeting, we heard that there was a positive result, there was a positive feeling between Matheus Cunha and Manchester United. And the release clause of Matheus Cunha is £62.5 million. So if Manchester United is ready to pay the £62.5 million, they will be able to sign the Wolverhampton Wanderers informed player, which is Matheus Cunha, to join Manchester United next season. Also, from the camp of Manchester United, we heard that they are trying to negotiate a deal with Galatasaray to sign their striker Victor Osimhen from Galatasaray to boost their attacking options. We all know that this season Manchester United is struggling in terms of scoring goals. So getting Matheus Cunha and Victor Osimhen won't be a very bad one to boost Manchester United attacking options. In order to sign Victor Osimhen, there is a price of 40 million euros to sign Victor Osimhen from Galatasaray. Okay, so let's move on to Chelsea. Today there was an interview with William Estivalo, his agent, and he said that William Estivalo, the Chelsea youngster, will be joining Chelsea after the Club World Cup. He's a world-class player and he will make history at Chelsea Football Club. Let's move on to Arsenal Football Club. They have also started trying to negotiate a deal with Sporting CP to sign their striker Victor Gyökeres, who has formed this current season. They want to sign Sporting CP striker Victor Gyökeres. If you go to Europe and you want one of the top strikers, the informed strikers, Victor Gyökeres is one of them. He's been scoring a lot of goals in the league. He has more than 30 goals in the La Liga, in the Portuguese league. And overall, in the 2024-2025 season, he scored over 50 goals in 50 into 56 matches, he scored 52 goals. This is a player scoring a lot of goals and would contribute a lot to Arsenal Football Club. This is a great news for the fans of Arsenal and the club as well. Yesterday, Lamine Yamal got a chance to add one achievement to his previous achievements. He was selected as the Laureus World Breakthrough of the Year. This has been a very interesting year for Lamine Yamal because in the summer he won the Euros. He also won the Euro Young Player of the Tournament, the Supercopa de España, the Golden Boy Award, and the Copa Trophy. And now he has added another achievement, which is the Laureus World Breakthrough of the Year. That is an interesting news from the camp of Lamine Yamal, a very youngster of FC Barcelona, making achievements out there at the age of 17 years old. Also, City has shown interest in Florian Wirtz, the Bayer Leverkusen player. City has shown interest in Florian Wirtz. They want to sign him, but right now Florian Wirtz is interested. That Pep Guardiola, Man City's coach, has shown interest in him. He's really impressed by the efforts of Pep Guardiola, showing interest in him to join Pep Guardiola's Man City. But the player himself is confused right now as to which team he's going to join in the summer because Bayer Leverkusen wants to sell Xabi Alonso to any team that will come forward and try a deal with Bayer Leverkusen. And right now, the family of Florian Wirtz wants him to stay in Germany for another season. So they want him to join Bayern Munich Football Club. And Xabi Alonso could also join Real Madrid in the summer, which could also see him sign for Real Madrid in the transfer window. And Pep Guardiola also needs him. So now Florian Wirtz is confused about as to which team he will join in the summer. But he's just impressed about Pep Guardiola's interest for him to join Manchester City. So let's look at the English Premier League table. It has been very interesting as to who will qualify for the Champions League. It has been very interesting, very much there. So you see how things will go from there. So let's look at the Italian Serie A table. Now the Serie A title race is heating up there because Inter Milan sits top with 71 points. Napoli sits second with 71 points. And if each of them decide to win all their matches, there will be a playoff rule, which means there is going to be one match who will decide who is going to win this season Italian Serie A. Inter Milan leads by goal difference, and they will host this match as the home team to invite Napoli and play this match to decide who wins the Italian Serie A. If the match ends as a draw, there will not be an extra time. This match will then progress to penalties to decide who wins this season Italian Serie A trophy. That will be very interesting to see from the Italian Serie A. So we will end here, and I will bring you more updates, more football stories and transfer histories circulating in various leagues and in various clubs. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also come back and watch more exciting news that I'll be bringing to you. Bye bye.